Join us at Women of Courage and celebrate the achievements of women. Good afternoon, and thank you for tuning in. This is Gloria Lee, the moderator for the show Women of Courage. Wherever you are in the world, I need you to know one thing right now. You are amazing. I know you might be upset. I know you might be hurting. And I know you might be frustrated. I know because all of these things happened to me. I was homeless for 2 years, and all I had was a computer, my son, and a car. I want you to know you still have a purpose in life, and it is my job to help you believe that again. Do you want to believe? Can you see that the divorce was not meant to take you out? Can you believe that the lost house and the lost job is a setup for something greater? By the end of this broadcast, you'll be injected with so much that you cannot help but believe again. And I am going to help you do just that. Are you ready? I got some things I want to share with you. And I will even make suggestions on books and activities that you can implement, which will ultimately bring healing and wholeness to you. If you are ready to be healed, if you're ready to be whole, just jot down the pointers I give and watch your life transform. No matter what happened, no matter whose fault it was, today is a new day, and your time to live and be free is now. Join me in this journey to wholeness. Your time for total healing is now. Today you shall recover. Wholeness, healness, and peacefulness is in the mind. That is where all battles for life end and begin.
Today, I choose love. From my past, my future, to my family and friends, I choose love. With everything we've got going on in the world today, all the hate and negativity, love is all we have, and it's all we need. If you can start each day with love, you will watch your world change. But the time is now to forgive, to forget, to move on. Do this and your perspective will change. If I know one thing, I would rather live in a world with love and openness than a world full of pain. And it's our choice to believe in something bigger than us. One world, one people, one love.
The Women of Courage show is being broadcast by the Women and Children's Restoration Ministries to help you problem solve, to help you dream again, to help you believe that anything is possible. We want you to believe that you do not have to marry the first man you meet just to get someone to take care of you. You do not have to live a life of drudgery. You can educate yourself. All you have to do is learn to read competently. We want you to take a chance on yourself. Stop believing all the soothsayers around you that have never left the state in their lives. People who do not have courage to fly. People who only think of lying, cheating, and stealing. You can live an exciting life. All you have to do is believe that you can make your dreams come true. You do not have to go to bed with someone you despise day in and day out. You have the right to marry someone that you can talk to someone that believes in you and has faith in you as a human being. In other words, you do not have to settle for just anyone. But what you must do is strive toward your goal. You must be goal oriented. You must organize yourself. You must be clear about what you want in life and why you want such a life. All of us are made up of dreams. As our dreams unfold in our lives, our spirit soars. Realizing our dreams becomes a problem because oftentimes we are beaten down by our friends and family. We are beaten down at school by people laughing at us because of our shoe size, our ear size, our breast size, the clothes we wear, etc. We are beaten down by people saying nothing will come of our lives. We are beaten down when our mothers and grandmothers constantly say that we're going to be just like our father, an inmate in prison. Many of us are also discouraged when our mothers are inattentive. She is wrapped up in her new boyfriend. But life anew is possible. It is my job to encourage you to go as far as you can dream and as far as your dreams can take you. It is my job to get you to believe in life again. I am sick and tired of people failing at life just because they are around negative speaking and negative acting people. Do not let the failure of other people make you lose confidence in yourself. Yes, you may be surrounded by poverty, but you must look for a way out. The book, If You Believe in God, You Do Not Belong in Prison, will help you. What you must do above all else is learn to read competently. You must read, and read. Anyone who laughs at you for reading, you need to leave that person alone. I do not care if it's your mother. Anyone who discourages you, you are to stop all association. Man is not different than plants. We need encouragement to grow as plants need water to thrive. You are to leave foolish, stupid people alone. Their ignorance will weigh you down or even get you killed. Sit down and think how you can avoid these people, especially if they're in your family. If you are overwhelmed with the tiring feeling that feels as if you're carrying a bag of stone around every morning when you get out of bed and think how you'll have to spend another living life you're not passionate about, the books I suggest are the perfect solution for your unique needs. Not only will we help you realize why these feelings overwhelm you and what you can do to change it, but they will also teach you how to live a life of strength, courage, fearlessness in order to realize all of your dreams. If you are lacking the attitude and psychology, proper resource or vision to make your dreams a reality, combined with dissatisfaction with the execution of your plans, but you remain firmly dedicated to making your ambition a reality and creating the life you deserve, you will certainly derive the most benefit from professional, incredible content within these books. Contents that will assist you in achieving the results that you are after. You are never to give up on yourself. Are you ready to leave your future to chance? Of course not. Take your life in your hand and learn all the necessary tools, mindset, strategies used by the men and women of courage, used in order to live the life of their dream. Change your life with our book starting today. This year, Father's Day is being celebrated June 21st. I write this article in recognition of all the fathers in the area. Luke chapter 1 verse 17 says, "He shall go before him in the spirit and power of Elijah to turn the heads of fathers to the children, and the disobedient to the wisdom of the just, to make ready a people prepared for the Lord." Malachi chapter 4 verse 8 says, "He will turn the hearts of the fathers to their children, and he will turn the hearts of the children to their fathers, or else I will come and strike the land with a curse." A call has gone out across the land for fathers to return to the home. You must consider carefully your next step in life, because every day you are defining yourself and you are telling your son who he is. So if your relationship with your children is not what it's supposed to be, it is time for you to make it right. It is time for you to change. You must change the way you think, and you must do it now. You cannot continue being the man you are. Life demands that you be the best that you can be in light of all the children who died around the world who never got an opportunity to live. Wherever you are, and no matter what you are doing, you must change. God is sending a call across the land that he wants his sons to return to him. Now, many of you may not be religious, and that is okay. You don't have to believe in a God, but just in case there is a deity floating somewhere in the clouds, why not hedge your bets and give me a listen? You have nothing to lose by being open-minded to another person's point of view. Now, you must be careful when you are dealing with God. Cheating God is not like cheating man. When you deal with man, there may or may not be consequences to your actions, bargains, or deceit. But with God, there are always consequences to your actions. Anytime you say to God, "Will you do so and so for me?" you are striking a bargain. You are negotiating a deal, because implied in your request, you tacitly agree to do X, Y, and Z. The deception occurs when you fail to follow through, because all of God's promises imply a condition before and after the promise. God is not easily put aside, and he will not allow you to forget him once he enters your life. So before you call upon God to help you solve your problems and to make life easier for you, you must consider the consequences. You may get more than what you bargained for. You may find that the God you called upon is truly God, that he is not an invention used by men when there is no hope in sight. Yes, it is true that one word from God can change your life. But what are you going to do when God refuses to let you put him back into the bottle like a genie until the next time you need help? Consider this. If you stop using drugs, your children will not have to visit you in prison. Prison visits are hard on children. Children are upset when they cannot see their fathers every day. Fathers are the principal component in a child's life. Your absence leaves your child apprehensive and frightened. Is the next puff of a marijuana cigarette worth your child's life? Think about it. Do you really have to contribute to your child's unhappiness? Do you really want to give advice to your child from prison? Do you want to tell your children what is actually important in life from a jail cell? How are they to believe you? You need to be home to help your children make the difficult choices in their life. That we all have to do as juveniles. How are you going to explain to your children why you made the decision you made that landed you in jail? How are you going to tell your children that the life you led should not be the life that they led? Or have you considered the fact that your absence is the reason why your sons are ending up in prison and your daughters as prostitutes? What are you going to do about these turn of events? Run and hide or stand up and change? Regardless of what you say or how you beg for forgiveness, your children will be in constant pain with your absence. They will always feel alone. They will always feel an emptiness because you are not living with them. You cannot make up this time with your children. So you need to think twice before you put yourself in a position of breaking the law. The choice is yours. You already know what choice your children want you to make. Eileen Hernandez, Theodore McNeil, Benjamin Davis, Marcus Garvey, Stephen Bilko, Sam Greenlee, Malcolm X, Ossie Davis, Nelson Mandela, all heroes of the past. They stood up and changed. Why can't you? None of these people were born the person that they became, the person that history remembers. These people made choice after choice after choice. Then they became the person that history remembers. Nelson Mandela became the man we know after spending a lifetime in prison. Ossie Davis became Ossie Davis, we know, after failing over and over again until he finally became the film, television, and Broadway actor, the director, the poet, the playwright, and the author and civil rights activist that we now know. These people fought for themselves. They argued with themselves as to the right path to take in life, the right people to choose as friends, the education that they needed, the right job to take. None of this was easy, but they chose the best life that kept them away from people who did not abide by the law. You need to be home with your children. So it is time for you to seriously consider your conduct and change. I am going to pause for a second to take a short break while you listen to information regarding willpower and encouragement. It is all a matter of learning new behaviors. And please remember, it is easier to build strong minds than to repair injured people. What I said is a modification of a quote by Frederick Douglass. He said, it is easier to build strong children than to repair broken men. Now for my break. The Michigan primaries and the general election are coming up, so we thought we should say something about why you should vote. Elizabeth Wallis from the League of Women Voters in Texas says here are some reasons why you should vote. She says if nobody votes, it's not a democracy. If you don't vote, people will not take you seriously. Voting is how you define yourself as part of something larger than yourself. Number four, if you do not vote, someone else will make the decisions for you. Voting is part of your independence. Number five, it matters. It matters to the future of you, your family, and your community. Six, people who don't vote are letting down their families and their communities. Moms, do you have an 18-year-old in your family? If so, give him or her register and be certain they vote. 8. Refusing to vote isn't a rebellion, it's a surrender. Number 9. Love your country. Prove it by voting. Number 10. Voting is the great equalizer. The richest billionaire in America gets just one vote, the same as you and me. Number 11. What do the smart people do? They vote. They are voters. Number 12. Elections have consequences. Be a voter. Elected officials make all the big decisions and they listen to the people who vote. Number 14. If you don't vote, you're invisible to the elected officials who make all the big decisions. Number 15. Did you know people with money spend billions of dollars on elections? Billions spent for television ads, mailers, people to make phone calls and to knock on doors. The smart people spending all that money are trying to influence the voters. If it didn't matter, they wouldn't do it. Number 16. If you don't vote because you think your vote doesn't matter, then the people who don't want you to vote because you are afraid of how your vote will not win. Number 17. Bad people are elected by the good people who did not vote. Hundreds of thousands of Americans have died to protect your right to vote. You owe it to them to vote. 19. Voting is the right thing to do. Start preparing to vote now. Go and register at the Secretary of State's office. Find out where your polling place is and be prepared to be the first person in line to vote that day. If you do not have transportation to the polling place, call your local library and find out who is offering free transportation to polling locations. Remember, vote. You can visit touchedbythelight.us and learn what our books have to offer to you.
This right here, this is the moment right before the day starts when you get to look in the mirror and tell yourself who you are. Now, you've been through some dark days. I believe that. But all that pain and struggle, that made the person you're looking at now. So when you walk out of these doors today, I need you to believe in yourself. I need you to believe you are the strongest person walking this planet. They don't know what you've been through. They don't know the grind it took for you to be here. So when you leave here today, I need you to show them. What we need to focus on now is bringing positive energy into the world. The energy that we project every day is the same energy that we get back. We've all seen those people that can walk into a room and they glow. People want to be around them. People feel better being in their presence. That's the energy that we need to create. And once we learn how to do this, our life will be filled with greatness. We will attract that positive energy. And how we do this is by changing our outlook, leading every day with gratitude, thankfulness, optimism. And once you do this, you will see the change. I want you to take a moment and close your eyes. Think about everything positive in your life. Family, friends, a career, your faith. All of this is how you start your day. Every morning you wake up, I want you to think about what is positive in your life. I want you to list 10 reasons of why your life is amazing. And once you do this, you will see the change. You will be the change. You will begin to attract life's blessings. Lead with gratitude. Be thankful. And think positive. I think one thing we can all agree on is how important it is to find time in your life to grow with your personal development, your hobbies, with your profession, to step outside of your routine to explore. We cannot grow. We cannot expect change unless we are willing to try something new. And that's what I want you to focus on right now. Are you willing to step outside of your comfort zone? Are you willing to try something new regardless of the outcome? Because even when you try and you might not succeed, you still grow from the experience. That's what life is about. Being comfortable even when you're not comfortable. And I promise you, once you start to take those chances, you will begin to attract new opportunities into your life. But trust me, this step is never easy. But what you need to focus on is the end result. Are you content with staying the same, or are you looking for growth? Are you looking for change? Are you looking for opportunity? If you are, this is how you do it. You need to grow. Having a goal or a plan to accomplish something isn't enough. You need to dig deeper than that. You need to tap into your subconscious to begin to reprogram your mind. And you do this through positive affirmations. Short statements that you repeat every day, regardless of your goal, how big or little. Whether your goal is to make more money, be a better boyfriend or girlfriend, or find a better job, whatever your goal is, you need to come up with short, positive statements about that goal and repeat it each morning. Start by doing this for 5 minutes. And once you begin to do this, you will start to see how the subconscious and conscious mind can work together. You have the potential to do amazing things. And through positive affirmations, you start to build that confidence. Think of all the goals that you've made in the past. Think about the mindset you were in at that moment. It was one of confidence and control. I will be successful in my job. I will make my next promotion. I will meet the love of my life. These are words of affirmation. Now tell me, what are your words?
Take the marijuana or meth out of your mouth and change. Sam Greenlee said, "There is no way that the United States can police the world and keep us on our asses too unless we cooperate." You are cooperating every time you visit the dope house and make your purchase. Stand up and be the man God called you to be. Being a man is hard, but being anything else is worse. Check out the graveyard of unfulfilled dreams. George White was born a slave in 1852 and he changed. You were born in what, 1952, 62, 72, 82, 92? And you cannot pick up a book and change, and you were not born a slave? Your sons think being a man is strapping on a gun and calling a woman a whore. Is he not a testament to your being a father? If you are black, take the marijuana out of your mouth. If you're white, take the meth out of your mouth. Pick up a book, read, and find out what God wants you to be and how he wants you to conduct your life. He did not fashion you in his likeness for you to walk around on your knees. If you are in trouble, you need to begin working on your self-esteem and your self-image. You have to develop and protect your mind and to elevate your self-esteem. There are moments in life where we all have to be encouraged to make it through the day. We have problems at home, we have problems at work, we have problems with our spouse, we have problems with our children, and we have problems with our bills. These situations and problems weigh us down to where we do not know what decision to make or just what to do, and all we want to do is just quit. Drinking is not the answer, nor is smoking a joint of marijuana just before you go to work the answer. You can win at life. Life is not something that you suffer through and then die. Life is a passage of time to be lived in joy and happiness with the God at the helm. When you feel panically or when worry overcomes you at work, go into the bathroom and repeat a scripture from the Bible out loud to yourself. A scripture from the Bible will help fortify you where you can make it through the rest of the day. Some days you will be overcome with fear, thinking nothing will get you out of the situation you are in. This is not true. Change can come into your life, but you must examine your life, decide what you want to change, then start a plan to make these changes. You must learn to take one day at a time. This will lower your anxiety. People lose control of their emotions because they keep jumping ahead in their minds. They forecast gloom and doom, not realizing that most of what they think will happen never happens. You must master taking one day at a time. When you take one day at a time, you will begin to look forward to incremental change. You must learn to believe in change. There are 2 books I want you to read. These books I must read. And please do not tell me that you do not have time to read. You got time to smoke, drink, and talk to your buddies. You have time to read. You must make up your mind that this is now time for you to change. And in order to change, you must read and learn something different. The books I want you to read are entitled, If You Believe in God, You Do Not Belong in Prison. The second book is entitled The Devil's Cauldron. Read these books until your back straightens, where strength returns to your bones and your spirit soars. You can find these books at the website https://touchedbythelight.us. If you click on the book cover, you can read the first chapter of each book. These books were written especially for men and actually men and boys. Something else that will help you, you can watch the 4 videos on the web page entitled The Wall Project. Remember this passage, Hebrews 4:12. For the word of God is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing of the sunder of the soul and spirit, and of the joints and the marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and interests of the heart. God designed you to walk upright, not on your knees. So now you need to learn how to stand up. I am going to pause for a second to take a short break while you listen to information regarding willpower and encouragement. It is all a matter of learning new behaviors. And please remember, it is easier to build strong minds than to repair injured people. What I said is a modification of a quote by Frederick Douglass. He said, "It is easier to build strong children than to repair broken men." Now for my break. Dear listeners, help us save a life. Stop breast cancer from taking lives. Will you assist us in putting the booklet Black Women and Breast Cancer in the hands of a million people? Please go to the website www.touchedbythelight.us and download the booklet Black Women and Breast Cancer. Then email this booklet to 5 friends, asking them to email the booklet to 5 of their friends. We are trying to reach a million women with this information to save lives. The death of one woman to breast cancer from our community is one woman too many. We thank you for your support. Remember, if you miss one of our shows, you can visit our YouTube channel at Touched by the Light Publishing to watch and listen to previous episodes of Women of Courage. Thank you.
32 million adults in the United States cannot read. And for most of them, it's not that they lack the ability to learn how. They just have grown up in a system that has not allowed them to flourish. And what I want to talk about today is bringing that power back to our communities. It is 2020. We have the resources around us to gain this knowledge. And it comes down to supporting our brothers and sisters to get them back on track. We need to understand that there is power in new information. We cannot hang on to the same things that have been told to us for the last 10 to 15 years. It is a new day. We have new technology at our fingertips that can help our families and our communities. But we need to be able to understand it, to process it, and to take action on it. For those of you that can read, I challenge you in 2020 to dedicate time to help our communities become better. Reach out, volunteer, and donate to help bring education back to our homes. For those of you that cannot read, all that I ask is for you to reach out for help. There are people around you that are willing to help you reach success. This cannot be about pride or being self-conscious. This has to be about you. We want to help you learn how to read so that you can make the decisions you need in this life. It is 2020. No more excuses on either side. If you can, you need to help. If you can't, you need to ask. We are all here for each other. I am talking about our cities, our communities, and our families. Bring the power of education back home.
In an earlier show, I spoke about the trinity of trouble, which was worry, doubt, and fear. These three emotions stop people from changing. These emotions stop people from being effective. These three emotions are also responsible for more ulcers, headaches, stomach upsets, and general malaise than any other emotions. These emotions keep people awake at night. They keep people from functioning at work, and these emotions destroy more marriages than any other emotions. Think about it. Doubt can wreck someone's constitution, followed by fear and worry. Where do you go when you are in trouble? What do you do when trouble is staring you in the face? One place you can go to is to a book and see if you can find information that can help you master these emotions. Since these three emotions are so deadly, we need to think of means and ways to stopping these emotions from destroying our lives, from overcoming our sensibilities. Drinking is not the answer to these emotions, nor is smoking a joint of marijuana before going to work the answer. More and more men are now being cited for DWIs and entering prison on drug charges, and their children are being thrown into foster care. The two books we mentioned earlier, entitled If You Believe in God, You Don't Belong in Prison and The Devil's Cauldron, will give you information on how to deal with these emotions, the emotions of worry, doubt, and fear. Keep these books close at hand with you at all times. You will find referencing the scriptures that you find in the books will help strengthen your mind. These scriptures will reinforce your faith and sustain you. When you feel panicky or when worry overcomes you at work, go into the bathroom and repeat one of these scriptures out loud to yourself. These scriptures will fortify you. Some days you will be overcome with fear, thinking nothing will get you out of the situation that you're in. This is not true. Change can come into your life, but you must examine your life and decide what you want to change, then plan for these changes. You must learn to take one day at a time. Taking one day at a time will lower your anxiety. People lose control of their emotions because they keep jumping ahead in their minds. They forecast gloom and doom, not realizing that most of what they think will happen never happens. You must master taking one day at a time. When you take one day at a time, you will begin to look forward to incremental change. You must learn to believe in change. Warriors feed their anxiety by thinking nothing will change. They expect nothing, so they get nothing. Worrying will kill you. Fear will kill you, and avoidance will kill you. You can develop the courage to save yourself and your children, but you need certain tools to do this. Just as you learn to worry, you can learn not to worry. The genesis of worry is fear. You can learn how not to be afraid, just as you learn to be afraid. Learn to recognize when you are fearful and learn to fight against this fear. It is important that you start walking with God. It is important that you read, study, and meditate so that in times of trouble you will not falter, but gird your loins and stand for right, not evil. Here is the point. When you attempt change in your life, you may have people who are not happy with you changing. They like the old you, or they are embarrassed that you are changing and they are not. That you are going back to school, but they are not going back to school. That you have stopped going to the bar after work wasting your money, but they are still going to the bar wasting their money. That you are going home and paying attention to your wife and children. These people who are dissatisfied with your new behavior will become an impediment to your changing. They will not support your change, and some may even try to hinder your change by inviting you out to the bar or to a party when they know you need to stay home to study for an exam. In this situation, you will then have to make another change. You will have to leave these people alone, because they are detrimental to your health and the life you want to lead. They are trying to keep you from your goal. Worrying lowers your expectations of the future. If you have a God, why do you have to have low expectations for your life? You have low expectations because of the way you think. You do not believe. You want to believe, but you actually do not believe. So why not try this? Say to yourself, I have a God. Then stand up and walk on that belief. This is what every Christian is called to do. Change your thinking, then change your life. Failure in life is often due to a person's refusal to change and refusal to confront his or her fears. Rather than picking up a book and learning something new, the person keeps doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. There are men who are told it's smart to sell drugs. It's smart to steal from another man. Rather than changing himself, this man keeps doing the same thing over and over again. Rather than picking up a book and learning how other people solve the same problems that he has, he does not change. He fails to realize there is more than one way to solve a problem, and he can learn this information by reading. This man has failed to realize he has made a faulty assumption. He has assumed that he will be a successful thief. He has assumed that he will be a successful dope dealer. Do not be one of these people. Pick up one of the books that we recommended and try something new. The books we recommend is If You Believe in God, You Do Not Belong in Prison and The Devil's Cauldron. These two books provide a broad discussion of many subjects that affect one's life. Read, learn, then change. You need to make this a slogan that you live by. Read, learn, then change. The first step in change is to stop lying to yourself. Stop walking around pretending everything in your life is okay. Stop acting if you are in control while you are piling up more and more debt, avoiding your mortgage payment to pretend to be wealthy. And stop depending on the conversations that you are having with your best friend. You must sit down and make a clear assessment of your circumstances. Decide what needs to be changed in your life. Make plans for these changes, then act. Take a deep breath and admit your problems to yourself. Admit you have made mistakes with your children. Now tell yourself you are determined to change your circumstances. You are not going to spend another second living a life that you do not want. And please learn to keep your mouth shut. You may not realize your friends and family do not want you to change or to do better than they are doing with their lives. Doubt is a contagious fear conveyed by friends and family, usually early in life. Then the doubt develops into a habit. What some people do not recognize is that their friends and family members may have a low expectation in life, and they are incapable of encouraging themselves or anyone else. They practice a mode of living called avoidance. They walk around pretending. They live a life of bitterness, and they die with hatred in their hearts for themselves, those around them, and God. Your self-image is determined during maturation, and it is based on the encouragement and love given to you by your parents or the disdain shown by others. You must learn to encourage yourself and not on the strokes of others. When your boyfriend demands that you prove your love by selling your body or giving him money while your children's needs go unmet, you need to change. You're dealing with an animal and you need to change. Leave him alone and start life anew. Your boyfriend is just a small-time pimp who lacks the skill to compete in the open job market. He has no talent and lacks the imagination to develop himself. So you and other women are his prey. He knows your lack of self-esteem, so he impregnates you with fear so that you will comply. Why have you let love become so important to you that you shame yourself? Change. Change is not an easy process. It hurts. You will be confused. You will be scared and you will be weary. Things will go wrong, but you must be determined to claim your life regardless of your age. Two problems cause people to be defeated: their self image and their self doubt. Do not grow old being bittered, filled with hatred, where you envy the young and it turns you into a monster. Do not be afraid that you will live a life of despair. You must learn to live a life of expectation, not a life of despair. Evaluate your life. Evaluate the people that you confide in. Evaluate and make plans based on these evaluations. Then you act. You will be alone, but being alone is better than being a part of a herd going nowhere. Granted, you may not know what to do to change your life, but one thing is certain: if you do not step out seeking knowledge through reading, you will never live a fulfilling life. Your children will benefit from your diligence. You believe what you read in magazines. When you change your hair to attract a man, or you change the way you walk to attract women, why not believe in me when I say reading the two books I recommend will help you make permanent changes in your life? Read, learn, then change. Change will be difficult, but you can do it. Become your own cheerleader. Just stand up. Do not let your dreams turn to fantasies, providing no substance to your life. Just stand up. A storm always exposes the weakest area in your life. You just have to patch that area. Do you have plans for your life? What are these plans? Have you listed these plans on a separate sheet of paper? Are you moving toward completing these goals? Go for it. Just make up your mind you are going to win.
Hello, are you downcast, emotionally and psychologically broken? Still finding it difficult realizing your deepest life aspiration and fulfilling your dream of ever becoming that courageous woman you have wanted? You don't have to worry about that anymore, as I provide you with the lasting solution to turn this around. I am delighted to introduce to you a 3 amazing and life-changing book series titled Women of Courage, Part 1, Part 2, and How to Become a Woman of Courage. These preach the personification of burning passion, courage, commitment, and inspiration we've simply felt compelled to express. These books are so inspiring. It motivates and encourages women to be more than the ordinary, influencing, and controlling life situations you thought you couldn't do. It educates you to break the social norms and become the unexpected and respected woman leader. It teaches you to support your own mind, your dreams, and helping you unleash your potentials. Now is the time to start thinking outside the box and overcoming emotional and psychological challenges. You too can change your world today. Why don't you challenge your fear and become a woman full of freedom that you have so dreamed of? Compared to the millions of ideas and thought it shares for your happiness and courage, the books are super amazingly affordable. You also have the privilege of reading an excerpt from the book before placing an order. Simply go to the website touchedbythelight.us and click on the book cover to learn more about these adventurous books. Do not compromise your dreamed freedom, strength, and boldness. I would highly recommend that you give this a shot. Best Women of Courage.
Reading is one of the most important activities that a person can participate in. A world of information is available to you. This information can help you shape and change not only your life, but the lives of your children and spouse. Visit the website touchedbythelight.us and find yourself a book to read. For more information, you can email us at murderedvoices@gmail.com. Please tell your friends and family about our broadcast and invite them to listen to us every Friday from 3 to 4 p.m. and every Sunday from 8 to 9 a.m. on 88.1 FM WHPR. You can email us at murderedvoices@gmail.com to learn more about our programs and how you can become involved. You can find inspirational articles by the Women of Courage Show by visiting the website touchedbythelight.us. You can read some of our essays on your lunch hour. These articles will help you last throughout the day. They will inspire you not to quit.
You're watching Detroit's own WHPR TV. Detroit Live.
Hi, this is Renee stepping out on faith. You can watch me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on the WHPR TV Now app. Download our free app at WHPR TV Now.
Weekdays at 2 p.m. Eastern.
Thank you for listening to Women of Courage and have a great day.